Hey, good morning, you guys. I just want to give you a little update on my limelight hydrangeas. Don't they look glorious in the background? I mean, when the heat of summer has hit, everything is starting to look except for the hydrangeas. So I just want to give you kind of a walkthrough of all my hydrangeas that I have. I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm kind of new at this, so I don't fully know the exact name of all of the Panicle Hydrangeas that I have. But most of the hydrangeas I do have are panicles, though they're not the mop head one. These are specifically limelights. Aren't they beautiful? Like one, for some reason, seems to be flowering a little bit faster than the other one. You can see this one is starting to white up way faster than its twin sisters. But they both are about the same age, same time I planted them. Just for some reason, one wants to start blooming a little bit more than the other one, or quicker or faster. I'm not sure how you would want to say it. But like my roses have already flourished. I've already cut them back. Like I have a rose right here. So when most things are, slowly starting to kind of have its summer heat, the limelights are starting to show off its head. You can see how beautiful they are. They get probably half and half sunlight. They're definitely not in full sunlight because it's about noon right now, and you can see they're in shade. My neighbor has so many trees around here, us included, that it's casting a whole bunch of shadows over here. But they seem to like their position because they are growing and thriving, so I'm gonna just leave them there. I do have other ones that I've planted, so I'm going to show you a couple that I do have. Over here it gets full sun. These are pinky winky hydrangeas over here, and they are starting to show off their flowers too, as you can see. They are beautiful. I mean, I can't wait to have a showcase of them. They are both the same age. One seems to be a little bit bigger than the other growth wise, and they actually were munched on by deer earlier in the early springtime. And you can see over here there's like a whole missing over here. And then of course, with the deer, I don't know why, but they only come and they eat the tip. So that's probably like the younger spots. You can see like right here is a tip there, gone, tip gone. There's another tip that's gone. So wherever the tip's gone is usually where the deer have munched on it. So like over here you can see here, here, and here. They seem to like them for some reason, but they are doing well. And over here it looks like this one is more prolific than the other one. Even though it's smaller, the flower seems to have come out a lot earlier than its twin sister or brother. Some of them is actually starting to change color. See right here? So with the panicle, they start white, and then from the bottom they start to change color. The pinky winky is supposed to be really spectacular, so I can't wait to see. And I definitely have not been disappointed. And I'm hoping that they will keep on growing, bloom, and then I'm gonna probably come in and deadhead them, and then hope that I get a second flush coming in before winter hits, probably end of November, beginning of December. And these are daisies. I don't remember the variety, but they are in full bloom right now, as you can see. So they create a good little contrast. I do have, sorry for my mess, you guys, it's an ongoing process over here. But here are some more hydrangea. These ones are in standard form. I'm training them. This is a limelight. That one I believe is a pinky winky. This one that hasn't bloomed. What I did to it, it was only producing 2 stems, so I took the risk, crop it off here, and then new shoots came, so I got 3 shoots out of 1. Same thing over here. I actually got 4 over here. So, well, actually I have 3. The fourth one looks like it's coming from the bottom of the base on the other side. So hopefully once this one gets a little bit more mature, it'll look a little more fuller, whereas this one I didn't trim back. So you can see from the base I did trim right there, and then it sends out 2 new stalk plus this one over here that was a little bit lower. So it looks a little scantily. It's only got 3 head instead of multiple. But in order to get more, like this one's the same, I only chopped the center tip, and so it created 2 new branches. And then this one is I don't know if it's vanilla strawberry or strawberry sundae. I think they're basically the same thing, except one seems to be a little bit more not floppy than the other. So whichever one I have, it's the really floppy one, which is why I'm training it into a standard form, because eventually I want it to cascade over. So this one is doing really well. Look at how big the heads are. Can you see them? Like, here's my hand. See if you can see. It's about as big as my head almost. Can you see me? But aren't they beautiful? I mean, just look at them. They smell too, surprisingly. So they are starting to change colors, you can see right here. But aren't they pretty? I mean, look at it. And then here's this one that's just barely coming out, whereas a lot of them have already came out. Look at how big this one is. Oh my goodness, you guys. Look at that. Can you see it? See? I feel like if you put it next to your head, you can really compare it. Isn't that crazy? So that one is, what did I say? Vanilla strawberry or strawberry sundae. And let's see. Another thing that's in bloom right now. Look at these. The hardy hibiscus. I don't remember the variety of this one, but look at it, you guys. Let me show you one, and you can compare it to my face. It's about as big as my face. They call this the dinner plate size, I think. But can you see it next to my face? It's monstrous, and it's so beautiful. Look at it. And this is only one plant. So once they mature, they die back every year and you get new wood stock. So this is just one flower, one plant. And once the leaf drop off, not leaf, the flower only lasts a day. But once it drops off, look at the little flower stem, the calyx or whatever that's holding the flower. They show in their own interest. But usually I go in, I snip this off because see how it's starting to produce the seed head? And I want it to keep on blooming and not spend money on the seed head. So I usually come in like this one. This one's spent and usually it falls off and then you have the little seed on the inside. So I usually come in and I just clip it off. Isn't it pretty though? It's like its own little flower in itself. So you get a double whammo interest. Here's the main flower. And once it falls off, you get this. Isn't that pretty? So you can leave it on and you have multiple of these. But remember, this is the little seed pod. See it? And it's going to spend the energy and time to produce the seed pod. So then it may not send out new shoots and new flower from here. See how it's already sending out new stuff? So usually I just go in if it's just coming out. Pop that off. Put it in the ground. This is my Midnight Marvel. This is a small baby one that I propagated from cutting. And you can see it's definitely a lot smaller than the mother plant. And yes, I'm having issue with those little worms that likes to eat the leaves. Sprayed them multiple times, but sometimes it still doesn't work. Here is another one, hardy hibiscus. But you can see how thick those stems are, and they come out pushing new growth every year. So aren't they pretty, you guys? So, well, like I said, these are the plants that are thriving right now because it's the heat dog days of summer. Also, another thing that produces its head off right about this time is the Rose of Sharon, which is another hibiscus. Isn't this pretty? This one, I think it's another cutting that I rooted and then I train it into a standard, which is a tree form. Isn't it pretty? Look at all the aphids on here though. Wow. Talk about an aphid magnet. So all the salvias are starting to lull. As you can see, I cut back some. All of this right here is salvia. So I've cut them back. Another thing that's still blooming its head off, as you can see over there, is the coneflower. Coneflowers is blooming its head off. That's these guys over here. And I want to say most of them, I think I planted 2, and then a couple of them I just spread the seed around once these seeds starts blooming and they're ready to, you know, they are big enough and they dry up, then I spread the seed around. This one looks like it's a new variety. It looks different than all the other ones surrounding it. Ooh, I don't want to get caught. But aren't they beautiful? I mean, just having a whole bunch of them just clustered around. And it looks like over here are the phlox. I don't remember the actual name or the variety of it, but they're phlox and they're blooming good. Those ones are phlox. I think those are dianthus. So those are perennial. So they come back and they're really pretty too. Vermillionaire is still doing its thing. Hummingbirds love them. They like to come out. I have a couple of them over here, but they're not showy. Like, you can't really see them very well. Let me see. And then I have some more over here in the front. The calla lilies are right here. They are starting to lull too. The white ones, see, I've cut most of them back, the flowers. Inside them, each of them have a seed pod. And I'm just going to show you, but like here. So it goes white, and then from white it goes to green, and then inside of it is a seed head. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, I'm going to have to open this one up so you guys can see it. So inside of it is a seed head in here, and then it goes back to like a green color. See that seed head? Seed head. I never knew that, I guess. So it produces its seed on the inside of the flower, which makes sense. But it goes back to green. See how it goes from white and then reverts back to green once it starts to develop that seed head inside. And then this purple one is really pretty, but the seed head in there is already forming. And let's see, over here, these are my mop-head hydrangeas, and they are about spent. You can see there's one new one right over here that it's beautiful blue, and a couple other one over there. But for the most part, see how they go vibrant blue and then they start to fade, like the colors are fading on them. So they are the earliest ones to bloom actually in my garden. This one was vibrant and full color, and now it's kind of changing. It kind of looks messy, but they're still pretty, so I'm going to just leave them on here. This one is still blooming, so it's got 2 good blooms. That one's a small one. I'm hoping I'll get more. The daisies are starting to come in, so that's nice. And then this is where my mailbox is. You guys, look at this. This is the stargazer lily. Aren't they beautiful? Apparently this must be my favorite color because it matches my shirt. Look, I match my garden. So this is the stargazer lily, and you can see I still have another bud right there, but isn't it beautiful? I mean, look at the color. And then that's a hardy hibiscus over there, same one as the ones I showed all the way back there a while ago. That one I think I got from a cutting, and I've rooted them. The hardy hibiscus root really easily. And then let's see, this is another one. This is another lily. I think it's I want to say an Asiatic something lily. But this is its first year, so it's kind of floppy. I have this one that's more floppy as well, but it's a couple years old, but it has more blooms on it. Isn't it beautiful? I mean, just the different variety and texture. This one looks way different than the stargazer lily for sure. but it has a tendency to droop. Whereas the stargazer one, it holds its own. Isn't that pretty? Look at this little bee doing its thing. Oh, there it goes. And then this is the front of my house over here. I'm gonna try to zoom in. Let's see if that works. So I'm trying to grow that. You can see where all the hydrangeas are coming in. And over here, I have one right there in the middle, but it hasn't bloomed yet. It's still too new. So I want to pan out so I can get a closer view of this one that I put in this corner. It's looking beautiful. This is another limelight hydrangea. I don't know. I might have too many hydrangeas. But can you really have too many? I don't know. I would be okay with my whole garden having hydrangeas like this, flowering everywhere. So it seems like everywhere, like at this time, everything is starting to lull. The hydrangeas are, you know, doing its thing. Isn't that beautiful? So this one, I'm just going to let it grow. Hopefully it'll be like 7 feet, 10 feet. They can get up to 15 if you don't do anything with them. I'm not sure if I want it to be 15 feet tall, but definitely bigger than that so it can hide over here. And then over here, it's gonna rain, you guys. That I think that hurricane that's coming through is bringing a lot of rain to this area. I don't remember if I told you I garden in zone 8A, Georgia. So we're getting the rainstorms. So that's another limelight hydrangea and another limelight hydrangea. It's so funny because if you guys can look, it almost looks like they're two different varieties. But they're just blooming at different times for some reason. I don't know why. And then I have another one right there that I transplanted. So it's doing its thing. It hasn't flowered yet. Coneflower still doing its thing over there. These are geranium. Aren't they pretty? Look. Matches my shirt again. I must like that color. The pink fuchsia color. And then those are verbena. Red one. Aren't they beautiful? Look at that red color. I've fallen in love with red. I love red. And then I've got the pink variety. And then this is my only bobo so far. It's loving its place. The flower is more prolific than the limelight, but they have a weird looking. See how they start? They seem like they're the flower here. Let me show you. The flower is smaller and daintier, like each little flower, than the limelight, which here, the limelight has a bigger flower. See it? So the bobo seems a lot smaller, even though they almost look identical. But the flowers are bigger on the limelight. Each little flowerette, I don't know what you call it. Another standard over here that I'm training. And then I'm back to my main flower bed over here where all my standard is. Sorry, I'm doing this quick because the rainstorm is starting to come in for some reason. And then here's another standard limelight that I'm training right here on my deck. This one's flowering, but it's slower than usual. It hasn't completed the flowering cycle. And then I planted a whole bunch of other limelights over here, just along the edge to soften this edge between my neighbor and I. So I think this one, I'm hoping it's a firelight, but it's not. And that's the one that I really want, is a firelight hydrangea. And I don't have it yet, but I'm hoping that that's it, because I bought it at a nursery and it just says Panicle Hydrangeas. It didn't give me a specific name for it. Here's another one. I don't remember what variety this one is, but this one, you guys, is crazy. Look at it. Look at the little small stem that it has, but look at how many flowers it's producing, and look at those big flower heads. I don't know how it's keeping itself upright, and you can see it's starting to bend over from that rainstorm, from this rainstorm that we're having. Here's a couple more over here. Trying to train it up. This one has a tendency to kind of cascade over, so I'm just training it like that. And then back to the Midnight Marvel Hardy Hibiscus. Isn't that beautiful? It's blooming now. But look at its head. I'm going to show you this one. This is the mother plant. So it's probably about 3.5, 4 feet. Here's the flower. Here's my face. It's raining and it's really humid. So I'm probably looking like I'm sweating to death. But isn't that beautiful? And then look at all of the other buds that's coming out still. This one is spent over here, as you can see. You just need to like gently pull at it and it'll come right off. Here's another one that will bloom not today but tomorrow because it's already opened up. And these two will be done and spent by the end of today. But look at that. Imagine having like 10 of those. Just, I don't know, I might actually plant them all along here and have a show. Wouldn't that be awesome? So my two things that is mainly in bloom right now, hydrangeas, the Panicle Hydrangeas, and the hardy hibiscus. Well, 3 actually, and the coneflower. The coneflower is doing great. And let's see. I want to show you angel trumpet. So I did a video earlier when they were in full bloom. Right now, they're probably, this first set is spent and you can see where the new set is coming. So these are the new ones that are coming. And these are the old ones that are falling. You can see, look at them. These are the ones that have already fallen into the ground. So then they leave this little seed pod right here. See, with the little stem or whatever. And then I think that's where the seed is formed. So I'm going to come in and snip it off because I want it to concentrate on reblooming versus spending time on putting out seeds. But see, you can tell this one is still new. This one is spent and is on its way, but it slowly does its thing. And then this one's a new one coming out. And then I've got a whole bunch of other little pods that are still coming. Isn't that pretty though? And then my Rio Samba, I trimmed it back, gave it a good nice little haircut, and now it's got all these new bud coming out again. Best reblooming rose I have in my garden. I hope I don't have spots on this video. But you guys, I think that's about it. I'm gonna probably head on in before it starts raining on me. But I hope you guys are enjoying your day, having a great day. I hope your garden is flourishing and you are enjoying your garden. And I will see you in the next one. You guys take care. Bye.